Close brace. For JavaScript developers, by JavaScript developers. Today we're talking about modeling. Not the kind that involves very tall women striding down a lighted catwalk while looking angry for unexplained reasons, but the kind that involves putting together our application's data in a structured manner. Data models are not strictly necessary. You can build an entire app without them, and some of my previous tutorials eschew them for the slightly faster and easier approach of just directly talking to the database without defining a model for our various pieces of data. This is great for learning the basic ins and outs of talking to MongoDB. It's very much not great for building a production-worthy app. MongoDB is very, very lenient when it comes to data structure. You can feed it something like this, and then later feed it something like this, and MongoDB will be like, okay, sure. And we'll just insert that second user into the same collection as the first, despite their structure not matching. This is problematic because it can lead to inconsistent data, which can lead to all kinds of errors in your code. Data models help ensure consistency, and they also help you track what data to send and what data you're going to receive when making API calls. Fortunately, setting up models is easy, especially since we'll be using a nifty module called Mongoose to help with the process. Mongoose is an ORM, or Object Relational Mapping tool, which loosely means that it's built to take the BSON being transmitted by MongoDB and convert it to usable JavaScript objects, arrays, etc., and vice versa. This is awesome because it makes interacting with your DB a breeze. Bonus points? It's not hard to set up or use at all. So let's get to it. First, we need to install Mongoose. Hit your terminal or command prompt, cd to your music list directory, which I'm already in, and then type the following: yarn add mongoose. Whew, that was a tough one, but we got through it somehow together, and now we've got Mongoose installed, and Yarn automatically added it to our package.json. Now we need to tell our app to actually use Mongoose. So switch back to Sublime Text, close this nonsense, and open app.js. First we need to find this line, const body parser equals require body parser. Below that, add this line, const mongoose equals require mongoose. Now find this line, const app equals express, and below that, add these two lines. Mongoose.connect mongodb : localhost / music list. That just tells Mongoose to use our local MongoDB server and the collection music list that we created in an earlier tutorial. Save the file and we're done there, for now. Let's build our first model, the one we'll be using for user accounts. We're going to keep user accounts dead, stupid, simple for now. No tracking people's websites or Twitter handles, no avatars, no birthdays or phone numbers. At some point we can add all of that, and maybe even two-step verification if we want to get really ambitious. But for now, we're going with username, first name, last name, password. That's it. So let's model that out. First, create a directory at the top level of your project called models. You can use makedir for this if you want. I'm lazy and I'm just going to right-click in Sublime. Since this is a small application, I'm not going to bother with subdirectories here, but you totally could if you wanted. Instead, let's just create a file called user.js. I'm going to give you all the code here, and I strongly encourage you to type it out by hand rather than copy pasting. Trust me, you learn way more by doing that, especially if you mistype something and then have to fix it. Here it is. Const mongoose equals require mongoose. Const schema with a capital letter equals mongoose.schema. Const user, also capital, equals new schema. Username, string. Password, string. First name, string. Last name, string. Module.exports equals mongoose.model user. Let's run through those lines real quick. First, we require the Mongoose module, then we map the variable schema to Mongoose's schema object. A schema is an object that outlines what a model should contain. We then initialize a new schema, name it user, and tell it to contain 4 strings: username, password, first name, and last name. That bit's important. By specifying the data type, we help prevent data corruption. We can't accidentally pass a boolean true-false to any of these, or a numerical value, or an array, or etc. It won't mean a thing if it ain't got that string, so to speak. The final line exports our model for use elsewhere. Save the file, and we've brought our user model into existence. In the next tutorial, we'll install our authentication management module, Passport, and wire it up to our user model. Stay tuned.